This is Lisa Tucker, host of The Book Cover, which showcases local literary personalities. So listen to The Book Cover on the borderline. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover. Hi there, you are listening to The Book Cover on the borderline, and I'm Lisa Tucker. Today I have a repeat offender, Dr. Frank Sarlo. Hi, Frank. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
So I'm good. So your most recent book or project is called The Thinking Chair, and I'm going to start off by reading a couple of critiques that we have from people in our city. The first one is from Azma Vezina. Of course, affiliated with Algoma University. She says, the thinking chair stands as a testament to leadership grounded in wisdom, courage, and an unwavering belief in the possible. I was captivated by the inner workings and collective wisdom, strategic insight, and unwavering commitment of the individuals working behind the scenes, the heroes of the stories, who, through resilience and vision, ensured our community would come together to save or protect what we cherished and needed to continue to thrive. And then Brian Davies, who's our editor at Tagona Books, says, the Thinking Chair is a must-read for anyone tasked with the challenge of creating positive change, which is very important in our society today. Businesses, organizations, and communities most often succeed when their members are effectively organized to pursue and achieve a common goal. Frank's remarkable community mobilization experiences give the Thinking Chair its breadth, depth, and persuasive power. Frank not only explains how to achieve community mobilization through utilizing available assets in short time frames. Every chapter also includes practical insights that change makers everywhere can adapt to their own organizational needs. The Thinking Chair is a testament to Frank's unique talents, a book where authenticity and hard-won experience drive Frank's message forward. Now, that's something. This has been a book, it's kind of it's almost like a full circle thing for you, I think, because it links with what you did your doctorate in.
Yes.
So tell me how this sort of links in, or how it's connected, and why you wanted to write this book.
Well, it's been a big part of my life in organizing, and I thought it would be a tremendous experience for others to be able to see how three of the largest organizations in the city really came together in crisis to help. So the main theme of the book throughout is that as a member or a group, we provide capacity and power to the group through the sum of our capabilities. People work together and share responsibility, supporting their deficit with the talents of others, and together they can shape community, organization, or business into a unique character of each person. That is really, I think, the most important thing. Mm-hmm. Nobody can do things on their own. We need the help of others, and by attracting talent, you're able to provide something that's much larger than you would expect. And I think the examples that I give throughout the book are the saving of Algoma Steel. Mm-hmm. At that time, there were 900 people that came forward to work to save Algoma Steel.
And what year was this, approximately?
That was in 1992.
Okay.
At that time, there was a newspaper article, the Financial Times, in Toronto that came out and says, the last one out of Sault Ste. Marie turned out the lights. Mm-hmm. That's how bad and desperate it was at that time. Algoma Steel came the closest that it came to actually closing down.
And this is very poignant today because of the state of Algoma Steel.
Well, it is. Mm-hmm. But again, I think with the help of our community, I think we'll come through it there. Plus the other problems that we have, like homelessness and the opioids and the other problems. And I think they can best be solved by people coming together and coming up with the solutions and actually working together to make them happen.
Yeah, because one person can't do it.
No.
But if a group of people getting together, and you speak about organization and different skills come together, you might be able to make it happen.
Right, and it really boils down to leadership. Mm-hmm. And when you take leadership, whether it's in business or nonprofit groups or in community crisis, it's somebody leading a group of people and understanding that they all have talents and utilizing those talents.
Right. Right. So can you go into a little bit more detail about what happened in 1992 and how that group formed and what was the most important thing they did for Algoma Steel?
Right. The thinking chair contains the total picture of the organization that was done for and by the community. At that time, there was the feeling out there by governments that only the strong should survive. And when Algoma Steel entered its problems, the company that had owned it at the time, DeFasco, they also had the steel mill in Hamilton. And they just decided they weren't putting any more money back into Algoma Steel. So the union and had just come off the longest strike in Sault Ste. Marie's history. So relationships between the company and the union were at the lowest ebb. We were quite concerned as a community that nobody was coming forth to really put pieces together. In my law firm, we had the daughter of the union president was one of our lawyers. So I asked her if she would set up a lunch for her father and I to discuss what was going on, because we were really concerned. The community would be destroyed.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it. So we met, and he asked me if I would consider leading a community group, because it was really, really necessary for two very distinct and different reasons. One was to persuade the government to do what they had to do to make it work, whatever the solution was eventually going to be. And number two, to have an honest broker for the employees to be able to see and have all the proper information, so when the time came, they could make the proper decisions. So I went back to my partners and asked them what they thought, and they gave me the go-ahead to try and do it. So I sat down and put the thinking cap on and came up with a number of rules that I thought we had to go by. And the first was very significant. It was to incorporate a non-for-profit corporation, and that the president of Algoma Steel, president of the union, and the mayor would become directors of that corporation, and I would be the working chair. And
all three went away.
And all three agreed to do it. And I asked them for $5,000 each to give us some money to be able to start with, plus one person from each of the company, the union, and the city to work with me to put things together. So we did that, and people at the time were using petitions. And I thought that instead of petition, we had the corporation, and if we sold memberships in that corporation for $1 each, it would strengthen the look when we went to the government. So we did, and our goal was to get 10,000 people to pay $1 each, and we thought that would be sufficient to show the governments that we were for the community, and we were representing the community.
Each dollar represented as sort of a vote or a supporter.
Right.
Yeah.
So it turns out that we went door to door like a political campaign, and we ended up with 22,000 members.
I knew that was coming.
Okay,
yeah.
So it was there and gave us all the credibility that we needed, and the community came forward, and they donated office space and all the equipment that we needed, and put together a real force. And as I said, 900 people came forward to work towards it, and eventually we ended up raising over $250,000, and we were able to bring 23 people from various groups in the city to Toronto and Ottawa to talk to everybody that would be involved in making decisions on Algoma Steel. So over a 48-hour period, we went and we gave I think it was 20-some presentations to the different areas, and it worked. The last night I was there, and I met with Michael Wilson, and we had a professional brief done, to show exactly what was needed at Algoma Steel.
And Michael
to make
Wilson
it
was
going.
at the time?
He was the finance minister at the
Okay,
time.
thank you.
So he was the one that would be ultimately making decision whether it was up or down. So I met with him that night, and he had read the brief, and he asked me to sit with him and go over. He had a number of questions, so we did. And at the end of it, he shook my hand and he says, "You're going to get what you need."
Awesome.
So we came back, and that was it. The solution ended up being employee ownership, and the employees each had to give up $2.89 an hour, and that wasn't going to be easy to convince the employees to be able to do it.
And it had to be unanimous.
And they had to have a majority vote.
Oh, okay, majority vote, yes.
Yeah. So to be able to do it. So we organized and gave them all the information. We ended up being the honest broker to be able to do that. And as it turned out, after 9 months, we ended up being able to save Algoma Steel, and the community played a very large part in that.
Well, Algoma Steel is our community, really. When you know,
Well,
we
at that time, more so than
now.
more
Yes.
so than now.
Yes.
But always very important. Still the largest employer. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you also did a similar thing with the Greyhounds.
Well, the Greyhounds actually happened before that.
Oh, before that, yeah.
And he tells the complete story again in the book about saving the Greyhounds. And that again was a number of people coming together that really felt impassioned about saving it. This was a team that was probably worth about $500,000, and a Detroit group had put together $1 million offer to buy the team, and we're going to move it to Detroit. Now, luckily, we had a clause in the arena contract that said if the team was going to be moved to another city, you had 30 days to match the offer exactly. It was there. So we had 30 days to be able to do it.
To get $1 million together.
Yeah. Okay. And Dr. Chinook led the campaign.
I do remember that, yeah.
And I organized behind the scenes with the Greyhounds accountant.
Yeah.
So the two of us put together a plan. And ultimately, by people coming together, again, the city, we sold close to 1,600 3-year season tickets, which had never been done in history anywhere, and being able to do it. And we had business people come up with 600,000, and we borrowed 400,000. It was there, and had a 10-year contract with the city, which allowed us to be able to pay back the money probably with, I think it was 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and get everything going. And it just turned out that within a year we were going to the Memorial Cup. Okay, and we went to the Memorial Cup 3 years in a row.
That's a nice little gold star after all your work.
It was really something.
Yeah.
It was, sometimes you think of it as a dream. How could that possibly happen?
That's a movie.
You know?
That's a movie right there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If there's any directors or producers
story, right?
out there listening.
So it's there. So I go through the whole thing on how the community came together and how it was organized. The other one that I point out in the book is homecoming.
Yes.
Which was a massive undertaking. Took 18 months and hundreds of people again coming together to put on the biggest show that Sault Ste. Marie's ever seen.
Now, does that still go on?
No.
No, but I remember the homecoming, and people would come from, all these expats would come back to the Sault.
We had 10 days of magic.
Yes.
Okay, we had all kinds of things that were going on. It was Claudia Daniels at Brooks put together a marketing plan that was absolutely amazing. We were able to attract 10,000 people that registered from out of town to come home for it.
Wow.
And who knows how many others that did. The impact in the city financially was over $10 million.
Well, you have at least 10,000 people coming back to the Sault, spending money on food and possible hotel stays.
And all the entertainment.
And and all the entertainment.
But still, the thing that got me the most was the fact that we had a goal of setting 100 events over a period of 10 days, 10 events a day. And we ended up, honestly, with 1,002 events happening all over the city.
Wow.
Like, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Wow. And people were stepping forward and saying, I want to put on this event, and I
Yep.
want to put on, because they wanted to support.
Well, we held weekly meetings at my law office in our room, the big room that we had in our basement, and people would come in and asking us if they could do this every week. It was really something. Again,
Wow.
people coming together with their own talents and making things happen.
Yeah.
Claudia also put together a thing for airline tickets. Air Canada gave us a number of airline tickets from anywhere in the world
Oh,
for
wow.
people to come home.
Oh, wow.
And we would, every week, we would give a set of tickets away. And I remember the one especially, a mother coming in, hadn't seen her son in 3 years, and he lived out west, and this was going to give him the money to be able to come home.
Oh,
it
wow.
Was, it was really...
That's a movie,
really
too.
special. Yeah.
These are all movies.
Yeah, well, they were all really special things. But from the book standpoint, it shows you how you would organize these things.
Right.
And, it's just as much important for business people, because everybody in business has to work with other people.
Sure.
And it's really how you work with other people and the things that are important to be able to get them to come together.
Yeah. So if there's somebody out there right now wanting to do something, okay, I'm just going to throw it out there for the homeless people, in town. What would be the first couple of things you would instruct them to do?
Well, first thing, they would have the passion to be able to do it and think it's important enough
Sure.
to be able to do it. Then I would tell them that they would have to attract a number of people that they believe in, okay, that they could count on to do their part, and then to find someone that can organize. And you organize a structure that you're going to go with, and then you try to put a lobbying group together that's going to get your ideas to come forward and promote them.
Right.
And if you came up with a sensible plan, there's never a problem getting the support.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
That's ingenious. I'm just thinking about your idea going door to door, getting $1 from each person.
Well, it was...
Because you're not only getting the support and you're showing the government that we have the support, but you're also making money.
Well, it was a small piece
And
of the
what's
money
$1?
that was necessary.
That's right. And what's
it was
$1
there.
to people?
No, it wasn't. And that was another thing. Peter Vaudry and I going door to door in his ward, in Ward 6, and mothers coming to the door actually crying and telling us, please find jobs for our sons. And it was a very emotional time.
Yeah. Yeah, as is now with the Algoma Steel. My husband works there, and March 23rd is supposed to be his last day work. So we're.
Oh, is he one of the people being laid off?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping they can get things going in time with the new mills and stuff.
Yes,
but,
and there was that new bit of news about rail ties or I don't know exactly, but a new piece.
And another mill that they're looking at is for enhanced steel.
Yes.
For submarines and things.
Yes,
like
that's
that.
what I just read. Yes.
Yeah. So the governments are, both the government of Ontario and the federal government, are really trying to find ways to make it happen.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a hard time for a while.
It will be. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're used to it, right?
Oh, it's cyclical, right? I remember in the 80s, my dad got laid off, and from there, and it was tight. Oh, we couldn't spend any money, and it was, and then it happened again in the 90s, and then,
people forget, that before the 80s, we had 13,500 people working at Algoma Steel, right? And in 1992, it was down to 5,000, and with the new organization, it was going down to 3,500, and now it's below that. And
I think it's like 1,500 to 2,000. Yeah.
So it's very, very difficult.
Have you ever considered running for public office?
No.
You don't think you could get more done?
No.
Okay.
No.
That tells me everything I need to know, Frank.
No, the reason I wouldn't is that with my personality, I probably would have killed myself.
Oh, oh, you mean killed yourself because you worked too hard?
Trying to do things.
Trying to do everything. Yeah. So now, who is going to benefit the most from the Thinking Chair book? Who's
I
going to
really
benefit?
think it's an equal thing to anybody that wants to organize. Okay, and I think it's very important for nonprofit groups, and I think it's extremely important to businesses that have a number of people working for them.
Right.
And how to utilize them properly.
Right.
So,
And to go and organize, it doesn't have to be a big Algoma Stale thing.
No, of
it
course
can be
not.
a small PTA. I'm thinking something small like
could
a
be
parent.
anything that you feel passionate about,
Right.
and you want to make change.
Right.
So if it's a positive change, that you go out, and it gives the secret to be able to do that successfully. You have to remember, part of this was from my thesis, where I interviewed 30 different successful leaders in the community that had done a lot of community work and were successful at it. So, I was able to put all of that material together,
Right.
and it's all incorporated in there, and and a lot of things that I learned while I was doing things. So it was it's a combination of all of those,
Right.
and actually, it's the book that I'm most proud of.
Even the Italian one? That's something to say.
The Italian one was fun. The West End,
Yeah.
that was the most fun I had.
I bet.
Okay, because I was born there and raised there, and it was really exciting for me to really realize for the first time that whether the people were there in the 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, everybody had the same feeling.
And I was there in the 70s, yeah. So, and I had the same feeling. It was a family, and that's why I think that book resonates to everybody. I was reading it with my mom, and my mom remembers, she didn't grow up in the West End, but she was a West End adult, and she brought children up in the West End. And so we had a lot of fun, reading it and looking at, thinking about the different places, and oh yeah, I remember that. And there's a story about that store. There's a story about that spot. And
There is. And keep your eyes out, because Gene Bracco's book's coming out shortly.
okay,
And it's with all his sketches.
okay,
Okay, there's 23 different sketches and his story. Okay, and it's going to be a companion with the West End.
and what's that going to be
So-
called?
I'm not sure.
You doesn't know
I
yet.
haven't seen it yet.
Speaking of titles, the Thinking Chair. How did you come up with that title?
When we created the Center for Social Justice and Good Works, we used to teach courses, in leadership and that. And one of the biggest things that I told people, before you make decisions, you should always sit back in there. And we had a rocking chair at the center, and I used to tell them, sit there and think about where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And we utilized that a lot. So it was that's where the thinking chair came from.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I know you're working on something else. So what's next?
You're not going to believe this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, my son has been bugging me to try a fictional book.
Oh,
Okay?
fun. Yes.
Because all my books are
Or
nonfiction.
nonfiction.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I've been attempting to be able to do it. And I says, I don't think I can do that because I'm not a flowery person,
Yeah.
in being able to do it. And to put fiction together.
But you can use the story of, let's just say, Saving the Greyhounds, and add some flourishes to make it fiction based on reality.
Except, believe it or not, I was watching the movie Love, Pray,
Eat, Pray, Love.
Eat, Pray,
Yeah.
Love with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
And when she was in Italy,
Yeah.
for the first time in my life, I heard the phrase "dolce far niente," which means the sweetness of doing nothing, and that really caught my attention. So I've looked into it, and I am trying to do a novel based on
Fiction book based on that phrase.
Yeah.
The sweetness of doing nothing. I enjoy that.
Yeah, because it's in my own life. I took a heart attack and bypass surgery to stop running.
Yes.
And enjoy the present. Okay, while I was recuperating. So, I didn't know about the sweetness of doing nothing at the time, but from my lived experience, I got to understand being present. So it was there. So
It's funny how a near-death experience will help you really appreciate silence.
well, it puts things in perspective,
It
right?
completely does.
Yeah, my whole life changed after that. I didn't work weekends any longer. The 12-hour days became 8-hour days, and except in emergencies.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wasn't tired all the time, and I got more work done.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and you
it
were
was,
there for your
I
family.
was there for my family
Yeah.
a lot more. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't that funny how you have to have something bad happen to to experience and to recognize the good?
Well, we go through life, we're always in a hurry, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You're
To go
doing
nowhere.
things there, yeah. So, well, sometimes, but in the modern day, it's rush, rush, rush.
Yeah,
so,
it is. So have you had a launch for the thinking chair?
Not really, no.
Will you? Because I know you did something for the West End at the 49th. No, what is it?
Yeah, 49th social.
49th, 45 social.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you plan on doing anything?
No.
No. Okay.
No, but we have them in all the stores now.
Yeah, I saw your list. So if anybody is wanting to get the thinking chair, it can be ordered online at tagonapress.com. They offer free delivery in Sault Ste. Marie, and you can also get it through Amazon. It can be found locally at Stone's Office Supply. They've got a little local book nook. The Totem Pole, 45 Social, D'Onofrio's, that's on Northern?
Yeah.
D'Onofrio's? Okay.
Yeah. Near the totem pole up the highway there.
Okay. Sioux Source for Sports, Outfitters. Where's Outfitters?
That's in the machine shop area.
Oh, okay,
the
yes.
train station.
Yes. Okay, Outfitters, Secondhand World, and Savings World. And how much is the book?
$30.
Okay, $30. And have you started writing the fiction book yet?
Yes.
You did start it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Today I was working on chapter 7.
Okay, so we're on it. And will this?
We're on it.
And now the Thinking Chair was published by Tagona Press locally.
Yeah.
Will your fiction book be?
Of course.
Yeah. Good.
No, actually, they're changing their website, so they're going to have an icon that's there for Sarlo books.
Okay.
And if you go into any one of the stores, you'll see something which says Sarlo books, and the 6 books that I've done are all shown there.
Yeah.
And all the stores have copies of all the books.
Okay.
It's also at the Bush Plain, and the Hermitage Center, and the museum. So
okay, all the good spots.
yeah, well, the places they're there. We put them out on consignment with them.
Sure.
And see what happens.
And since we're talking about all your books, okay, can you name them all?
Well, the first one was the actual thesis.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that was.
And now is that public for people to purchase?
It is now on Tagona Press.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only get it online.
Okay.
Okay, so that was community mobilization in a small Canadian city. Mm-hmm. And then the first book that I actually did after that was Houndtown.
That's right.
Which is the first 44 years of the Sioux Greyhounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we just did Houndtown Revisited last year.
That's right.
And that was a combination of myself and Brad Cochemillo from Sioux Today and Bob Davies with all of the beautiful photographs that he put in. And then, of course, we did A Special Place, which is about the heart and soul of Sault Ste. Marie. And then the West End, of course, and now the Thinking Chair. So
yeah, wow, you're getting quite the library.
That's what my wife says. Where am I going to put all these books?
Right? Because she's got to buy them all, right? You have to have them in the house.
Have to have them.
And maybe a couple of copies so you can give some out to visitors that come.
She's limited to me one copy.
Oh, okay.
My car holds the rest.
The trunk. So the multiple copies are in the trunk. Oh, I love it.
And my brother's come out and he's been helping. So he's the one putting the books in all the stores.
Okay.
And following up on them. And
well, you need a village, right?
Yeah,
it takes a village to raise an adult.
Yourself.
No, you can't.
So you can't talk. Well, you have to walk the walk. Also,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here again. I guess we said this is our 4th visit.
That's what
I think. Yeah, 4th visit. So yeah, you are very repeat offender. The book is The Thinking Chair, Mobilizing Your Community to Create Positive Change Together by Dr. Frank Sarlo. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you. I really appreciate being here.
I love having you. So next, when you get your fiction book, you're coming right here.
Okay, great.
You've been listening to The Book Cover. I'm Lisa Tucker. We are on the borderline. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover.
This is Frank Sarlo, the author of The Thinking Chair. The Thinking Chair can be purchased in many of the retail outlets in Sault Ste. Marie and online at tagonapress.com. And listen to The Book Cover with Lisa Tucker right here on the borderline.